Okay, you can start.
Excellent. Hi, everybody. This is Deb Yarnell, sourcing executive on the sourcing science team, and I will be training everybody on a Stump the Sourcer training today. Last training, we asked everybody that had been a part of that particular training if they would like to have their role Stumped the Sourcer trained on, and Par Excel was gracious to provide me a specific role that they would like to have highlighted in today's training. So today's training, we'll be doing a Stump the Sourcer training on a preclinical senior consultant clinical research position. So that being said, I wanted to at least start with, well, what does the Stump sourcing training look like? And so basically what we do is we go through a 13-step sourcing plan. The sourcing plan really highlights all the areas on a high level, what we should do when we are planning on sourcing for a new opportunity. So I will be going through all the steps within the next hour and showing you exactly how we get this done. So again, we're working on the senior consultant preclinical position for Par Excel. The first step here is read the requisition and highlight the keywords and key terms. And I did so on my document over here. It's a senior consultant preclinical. It could be anywhere in the United States. According to the job description, the person needed 7 years experience, a minimum of a bachelor's in scientific or technical discipline. This person also needed to have pharmaceutical, biotechnology, CRO, consulting, preclinical toxicology, pharmacology, regulation experience, and also have some experience within the FDA preclinical submissions. A lot of words. I'm not from the healthcare industry, so I definitely took a stab at this and had to make sure that I really understood exactly what this was all about. So according to our plan, we obviously read the requisition, we highlighted the keywords, key terms. Step 2, list the keywords, key phrases, identify zip code, area codes in the zip code area, identify other locations near the hiring city, identify similar titles, and wiki any words that you're not aware of or don't understand, and then obviously identify competitors. So I did that over here. Obviously, this position could be anywhere in the United States, so that really opens up the geographic area to pipeline from. So I just indicated USA because I don't have to have any zip codes or area codes identified for this particular position. Identify similar titles. Some of the similar titles I was able to find through just doing a general Google search are preclinical research and development, preclinical development consultant. It was pretty clear that this was a role in which the title is very common with a lot of other competitors, so I didn't really have to uncover that many more titles. CRO was, an acronym that I wasn't fully aware of what it was, so I obviously wikied CRO, and it is Clinical Research Organization, or it could also be Contract Research Organization. So again, there were a couple meetings here that I could, that CRO fell under, and so I just wanted to make sure that I identified that in my step 2. And then I, of course, identified competitors. So I just basically Googled clinical research organization companies in the United States, and this list is just a short list of, competitors that I found that, was a result from that Google search. So MedSource, PSI, Quintiles, PPD, which is Pharma Product Development, Covance, Icon, and so forth and so on. Step 3 is go through the applicants in the applicant tracking system, the old recs and the new recs. Now, obviously, I don't have access to Par Excel's applicant tracking system, so I can't show you how to do that on today's training, but I'm sure that everybody knows what applicant tracking system you're currently using and know how to do some searches, not just keyword searches for similar resumes or CVs that align to what you're looking for, but also doing some searches of old positions that your organization had filled in the past that maybe these people may be already aligned to. Again, it's just the easiest way to start developing a pipeline. And it's great that these are individuals that have already applied to par excel positions. So, you know, it would be more of a warm sell if, you know, you're a recruiter and you're on the call, you know, on a phone and you're trying to get people excited about the opportunity. We already know that, you know, these people applied, so therefore they already know, you know, what par excel is and why they're being called. Step 4, go through applicants in the CRM tool. So we're going to search in jobs, and then we're going to search in people. And what we need to do is we need to start building out our Boolean strings based on our step 2 research. So I have that over here in the plan here. And I kept it very broad. So preclinical or preclinical, consultant or consulting, and regulatory FDA. So if I go ahead and just highlight this string, so copy, and I'm going to go into Avature. And bear in mind, Avature is experiencing a slowdown today, so it may have a bit of a lag time with seeing the results. So again, you know, I'm going to search in jobs first because, you know, there may be some positions that, you know, par excel already put into Avature that have these types of individuals already aligned to a specific job. So I click on search, and we get some clocking. All right, here we go. So this is a search in jobs, so it's going to pull up jobs that have these keywords listed in the Avature system. And so I have here, there is a senior preclinical regulatory consultant, home-based. That sounds really close to what we were looking for. And again, it's in the United States, so it fits the requirement of this position being in the United States. And then I also see here a senior consultant preclinical IPD, home-based as well. So if I click on these positions, I can see if there are any folks aligned to the jobs. And it's thinking about wanting to open up that particular job. Okay, so here's the one, and it is for par excel. And we can see here that there are 2 people aligned to this position, so not a lot of people that we can link over to our new opportunity, but 2 is better than 0. And then we can go back into the search again. Jobs. I went too far. Wait, hold on. Paste. Search. And then, of course, we have this other one, Senior Consultant Project Leader. Oops, that's the United Kingdom. The Senior Consultant Preclinical. Let's click on that one and see. Actually, that one looks like it just opened up, so I wouldn't assume that there's a lot of people in there since it just opened up today. It's thinking. Now, while that's waiting to load up, you know, and we can see here that actually that was opened up. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So it was access today, but it actually opened up in October of 2016, and we can see here that there are 212 total people aligned to this particular position for par excel, the Senior Consultant Preclinical. So again, you know, here's an old job that, you know, the recruiter just went into today and is now putting in some additional people. So this is a great, you know, example of how an older position could supply you a pipeline that's already, you know, been created. Okay, so once we are done with our searches of jobs, we're going to go back into the advanced search area, and now we're going to look for people. Okay, and again, what we're going to be looking for is, you know, this same string, but we're also going to include the United States, because we have obviously this position existing overseas, but we want to kind of dwindle down our results to just those in the United States. So as you can see here, I put in that I want on the CV or resume US or U.S. or U.S. or United States. So if I click on search, we should have a pretty good result. I know when I did this, I had 1,800 results. So if I calculate the exact title, it should probably be a little bit more since someone was actually working on this position today. So yeah, 1,895. So it has increased. Obviously, that's a lot of resumes to go through, and you might not have the time or luxury to be able to go through 1,000 or just about 2,000 resumes. So what we would do here is we would also add some additional keywords that we know are on that job description that were important for Par Excel. And those were toxicology or pharmacology or biotechnology, and parentheses there. So adding these extra keywords will definitely lower the amount of results because it's now looking for one of these words in the CV. So we click on search here. We should see this 1,800 number go down. And click on about, calculate exact total. We have 1,425 results. So again, the more keywords you add, the less number of resumes that will appear. Obviously, we have a great deal of people that fit this particular keyword search within Avature. So this particular role may not be difficult to fill in terms of a pipeline. Obviously, getting people on the phone and getting them interested in the opportunity. Will definitely take that pipeline and dwindle it down to a more manageable applicant list. Now, if we didn't have a lot of people already in Avature, then what we would do is go to step 5. And so step 5 of the sourcing plan is to search Avature's web sources or the external job boards that you have access to. In order to do that, you click on web sources. And as that's opening up, we would take the same keyword searches that we would use in Avature and start searching, the job boards. So if we, still opening, sorry, I know Avature is acting very slow today. Web sources, service is not available, temporary problem, great. Well, I know that I had done the search earlier, and so basically the same keyword search that I used in Avature and looked at the people already in the CRM. I looked at Monster, and there were 529 people that showed up. And so, you would want to go through Monster, Career Builder, Recruitment Edge, any other type of job boards that you do have access to. You can search Indeed through Avature as well. And if at that point there weren't that many more people, then we would start to go to step 6. So if I click on my step 6, we're going to search a free LinkedIn account. So I'm going to go into my LinkedIn account because I don't have the recruiter account, and just to show you how I would go about searching LinkedIn for this preclinical consultant position. I would click on Advanced. And I'm going to enter the keywords. Actually, I'm going to put in title. Actually, I'm going to do the keywords first. So copy. Paste. And of course, we're looking at all of the United States. So we're going to make sure that it's in United States. And if we click on search, we see that there are no results, which is not a big deal. So we're going to eliminate some of these keywords because maybe some folks don't actually have, regulatory FDA toxicology on their LinkedIn profile. So we'll go ahead and get rid of that. Redo the search, and we have a lot of people. So, which is interesting because adding those keywords, showed me nothing. So let me go ahead and put back regulatory and FDA. And do the search again, and we should see that list come down to 914 profiles. Again, you know, I would continuously add more keywords just to get the list down to something more manageable. But obviously, there are a good amount of people within LinkedIn that we could potentially see. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to add one more keyword. And again, remember, this is not, you know, using the LinkedIn recruiter account. I don't have that. So this is just basically my own network. And I'm going to put in, let's put in toxicology. Search. Okay, 169 people. So this is going to be a really good example of the difference between my own network and then maybe some of the other networks, or an X-ray of LinkedIn. So I have here 169 people with those keywords. I'm going to just go ahead and copy this. Now, if this, you know, showed me no results and I still needed some additional results out of LinkedIn, but I know that I don't have a LinkedIn recruiter account, there are a variety of different platforms that we can go ahead and search that will X-ray LinkedIn. So that will go into step 7, search LinkedIn using the Google search engine or Recruiting. And these are two really great tools that X-ray LinkedIn and provide you additional resumes that you don't have access to or can't see through your own personal LinkedIn account. So I'm going to go ahead here and go into the CSE, Google Custom Search Engine first. Okay, and then I'm going to put in the same keywords. Okay, and then of course I'm going to put in United States as well, because I want to make sure that the people that are showing up are people in the United States, or at least have that information on their resume profile. Okay, so here we have the US, or United States. And if I click on search, I have here 21,000 results, which is way more than I could possibly go through. But, you know, what it does is it gives me, you know, additional people that I can reach out to. I can, you know, go into any of these other filters and filter out just people that have, you know, personal emails in their LinkedIn profile. And obviously you see that number come down to just about 4,000 results. And these are people that have personal emails in their profile. Then if they have like work emails, you know, then we have emails in profile this way. So that, you know, obviously there's more work emails in here, 11,400 results. And again, it just makes it a little bit easier to uncover people with contact information. So, you know, it just provides you some additional ways of engaging this individual other than, you know, calling them at their office. And then again, remember we said that this person needed 7 years experience. There is a filter for that on the Google Custom Search Engine, and that is years of experience. It's not always perfect, but it is nice that, you know, it looks for specific amount of years that fall within that 5 to 10 range. So I like Google Custom Engine. It's not, like I said, it's not always perfect, but it, you know, does definitely open up profiles in LinkedIn that I would not have had the opportunity to see using my my personal LinkedIn account. There's another really cool tool that also does the same thing, and it's called recruiting.net. And this works the same way as the Google Custom Search Engine. I like this a little bit better because I feel that the results are more country specific. This works globally, so if you have the same position in, you know, in China or in Indonesia, you can actually indicate the country and it will search the LinkedIn Indonesia hub, which is really nice. So again, here I put in the keywords again, and actually let me put in consultant as a title, and then the keywords I'm going to include everything. So we have here paste. Okay. So this is the one where I said I want to see consultants with preclinical experience, and you know, they need to also have toxicology, pharmacology, and biotechnology in their resume. And remember, we did this before on LinkedIn and nothing came up. So let's see if we actually can find some people with this same keyword sequence. And then you click on find the right people, open in Google. It creates the X-ray for you, so you don't actually have to do anything, which is really fantastic. And you can see here, that we have a lot of results, 350,000 results. But, of course, it's, people that have that type of background, and they're, direct linked into the LinkedIn account, all right, their profile. So if I go into, say Paul, some of the things that we want to make sure of is that, we may not have like I said, the LinkedIn recruiter account, and we might want to go ahead and reach out to this person after we review their profile. There are a variety of different Chrome extensions that I like to use that allows me access to their email address or personal or work email address. One of them is, this is probably my favorite, Profit. And so with Profit, like I said, it's a Chrome extension, completely free. You would add it to your Chrome, search engine, and you get this like little opening area box, and you click on Find Email, and it will search for Paul's email. And sometimes it comes back as, something, and sometimes it doesn't find anything. So we see here that it does come back with a result of an email, and it is 100% confident that this is his email. So which is great. So I'm glad that, it came back with that percentage of 100%. There is also Email Hunter, which is another email finder tool. It is another Chrome extension. And again, if I click on Email Hunter, it's going to also look for his information. It's not finding anybody, which is interesting that Profit was able to uncover an email for him, but with Email Hunter, it's not finding anything for him. Again, I use a variety of different Email Hunter tools because not one is always going to work out, so that's why I always have like a couple of different tools in my tool bag to look for emails. Okay. Again, if we look on his resume, or look on his profile and see if we can find his email. I'm not seeing any emails here. Nope, no. So, obviously we were able to uncover an email using the tools, and his email does not exist on his LinkedIn profile. Now, if we go through all the people that showed up in our the LinkedIn recruiting search, great, but if we wanted to dwindle down the list, you can definitely do that by adding additional keywords. If for some reason recruiting doesn't work, or the Google custom search engine doesn't work, what we would next do is step 8, which step 8 is search Google using Boolean to find resumes and CVs. So typically what I like to do is create, as you can see here, in URL resume. It's looking for resume in the URL. I look for vitae, and I look for it in titles as well. And so, if I use this Boolean string here, and again, it's not going to give me back a lot of people because obviously I did this search before and I found 7 results, which is very limited, but I can use that in my tool here, paste. All right, so here's that search string, and I can enter, and there are those 7 people. But these are 7 resumes, that may have been on LinkedIn or may not have been, and may not be in your CRM tool or applicant tracking system. So I like to always use as many tools possible to uncover additional resumes. And again, use a variety of different search engines, in URL vitae or resume names, because sometimes it's CV, sometimes it's vitae, sometimes you'll find resume, and always make sure that you subtract jobs or sample, because otherwise you're going to get tons of jobs for this particular position. If that doesn't work, we do have another step, and that is to search associations and organizations. What I like to do is I just do a general search on Google for associations that are related to preclinical consulting or CRO type of industries. So with my form here, the ones that I was able to find were ACRO, SACRA, RAPS, Society of Clinical Trials, and FDA.gov. And this is important to have to understand where these organizations are, what the URLs for the organizations are, because then you can actually start to site search or X-ray search that specific organization. So if I take, let's see, here's one. Now, sometimes you have to join the organization. Like for instance, with RAPS.com, actually I'm going to put it here, paste. So RAPS is a regulatory organization for clinical trials. And so I actually had to join to see what the URL would look like for people within the organization itself. And so you can always try a variety of different words, but if you do have the ability to join a group, or organization, and it doesn't ask you a ton of questions or looks for some sort of certification code, sometimes you can go ahead and just enter that particular association online and get what the actual URL looks like that will uncover the people that are part of that organization. So if I do a site search here, I'm going to x-ray-raps.org. And you can see here, there's a lot. Why is this coming up like that? Hold on, get rid of that. Paste. 1400. Why is this coming up like that? But here's some profiles. Austin Gage, Lindsay Curry, Edwin Bills. So you have to go through the list a little bit to uncover some additional profile names. And again, these people belong to the RAPS Regulatory Exchange. They may be in LinkedIn, they may not be in LinkedIn. Again, we're just increasing the people that we can reach out to. Another site that I was able to x-ray was the sacra.org. And so if I put paste, sacra.org asset certification directory, you can see here that I got a PDF, and these are people that have the CCRP certification. That's the Certified Clinical Research Associate. And so this is a directory of everybody that has that certification for clinical research. And it goes on and on and on. It's 148 pages. So this was like a gold mine because, again, I was able to uncover the name. I understand where they are. Yes, it's going to take me a little bit more time to find some personal contact information for them. But again, this was a really great find. And these are people that have that, that particular certification. If that doesn't give you a lot of people, then we have another step, and that is step 10. And if I click in here, step 10 is search Twitter. So again, there is a site called FollowerWonk, followerwonk.com. And this allows you to search bios and profiles. So if I'm in here, and I have a free version of FollowerWonk. I don't use the more expensive version of it. So I just I put in my keywords here. So keywords will be this. Let's see, clinical research consultant. Paste. And I'm now going to say I want to search Twitter profiles and do it. And again, here I see 298 results. So these are people that have clinical research consultant in their Twitter profile. So again, it's just another way to find additional people. Again, they may not all be clinical research consultants, because you can see here, there's a person that's a surgeon but has experience with clinical research, but they're not a consultant. So you do have to go through it a little bit. You can also see that there are clinical research consultants in here. So there is some, definite additional people that you can reach out to, and they're on Twitter, so you can connect with them on Twitter. You can also look at their bios, and again, we're going to just go ahead and say do it. And so we're finding that these same, a lot of the same people. Sometimes the numbers are different, but these are people in Twitter that have clinical research consultant in their bios as well. Okay. Another thing that I like to look at are Facebook searches. So there's a lot of people on Facebook that list their title, list their company that they're currently working at, and there are two tools that I do like to use. One is not very pretty, and the other one is pretty, but I like to use both of them just because I may have different results. Again, we don't put all our eggs in one basket. So this is IntelliTechniques. This is the ugly one, but it is still effective. So if I go into down here, multiple variables, okay, I'm going to put down that I want the current title to be clinical research, okay, and I can just go ahead and do a general search just to see if clinical research is a title that comes up in Facebook. And you can see that it will open up Facebook, and these are people that have clinical research in their Facebook title, okay? It could be an older title that they had. It could be a title that they currently have. But then you can also see that there are people that, are mutual friends. So you can say, oh, hey, Dave, you are friends with Randy, obviously he's a recruiter. But you can ask them, hey, can you do some introduction? I'd like to talk to this person. So it's nice to have that. If we wanted to go ahead and just add in some additional keywords or maybe a location, we would click on and then we can put in located, current, where is it? Oh, current location. So we could put down, all right, well, I want to see people with the title clinical research, but I want to look at people that are in, say, Raleigh. Okay, and then I click on search. And these are clinical research people that live in Raleigh. Okay, so again, this is a nice list. These are people that, again, have some sort of clinical research in the background. Again, it's a smaller list, but, again, it's, this is just people that are living in Raleigh right now. If we wanted to go ahead and look at people at specific companies, we can say, well, I want the current employer to be, say, I don't know, ParExcel. We can see how many people in ParExcel are in here. And I don't think that there was anything that actually came up, but here we are. So works at Icon Clinical Research, but worked as a process executive at ParExcel. Here's a senior clinical DB program at ParExcel. Obviously this is not someone that we would need. Here's another one that worked at ParExcel, another one that worked at ParExcel. And you can actually go ahead and add all your competitors in here as well. So if I put in Covance, because I know that that was a competitor of ParExcel, I can see if there's any clinical research people at Covance, and we can see that there are a couple of people. So you just got to play around with some of the keywords in this particular tool. There is another tool that I have downloaded before that does work, and it's Hire Tool. Okay, you do have to be logged into Hire Tool for this to work. Again, this is just a little easier, prettier, easier on the eyes. And again, here it works basically the same way as the IntelliTechniques search, and that is, if I just put in clinical research, it will actually go ahead and search people that are part of the either company or part of a group. So if I click on here, search talent, you can search your Facebook talent, people who live in, I don't know why that is like that. Let's go back. Let's do this. Oh, location, that's what. So jobs, company, presently at, let's put in ParExcel. Here's ParExcel. Search talent. So these are people that work at ParExcel. Okay. And then you can also go ahead and look at people that work at Covance. So again, company, Covance. And there's a couple of different Covances, but you'll know exactly which Covance that you want to look in. There's a Covance clinical trials. I would assume that people that like Covance clinical trials may have that preclinical consulting kind of background. So let's go ahead and look, search talent in this particular company here. And here we have another list of people that that are at Covance clinical trials. And this is actually a nice list of people. Again, if you're for this particular position, we would have to weed out, those that are actually in the United Kingdom or, overseas, and just, focus on the people that are in the United States. Research associates. But, if I go into LinkedIn and I look at, let's see, Sakura, which I know that is that one organization that has people that would fall within the clinical research environment, I can see here that there is 10,000 employees at this Sakura Research. Actually, where is it? There's the Society of Clinical. This is the one I wanted to show you. Okay, here. So here's the organization, Sakura Society of Clinical Research Associates. And we can see here that there are 6,658 members. I could join, but I don't want to, because this is not something that I have near and dear to my heart, so it's not something that I would want to go ahead and join this particular group. That being said, we can use our x-rays and build out a Boolean string to specifically x-ray this group. So to do that, we would go ahead and put in copy. Hold on 1 second, let me get rid of that. Okay, so here it is, site linkedin.com/in, and then what I did is I put parentheses around the full title, okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and click enter. And here are 5,720 results of members within that particular organization on LinkedIn, okay? So again, this is a great way to get into an organization on LinkedIn without actually having to join or ask to join. And obviously there's a lot of people here. We can add keywords to, reduce the amount of people that show up. And we can put in preclinical. And now obviously these are people that belong to this organization and have preclinical somewhere in their LinkedIn profile. And again, you're going to try preclinical, like this way I had, let's see, preclinical with a hyphen in it. 688 results, but sometimes people don't put the hyphen in. So if I take out the hyphen, I will have different results, 319. Okay. And then finally, if all else fails and you need yet another step, there is search video and presentation slides. So SlideShare, YouTube, Scribe, because there could be some resumes there. I like to search SlideShare. So again, if I click on, if I create a X-ray, site slideshare.net, I'm going to look for resumes with preclinical research, regulatory FDA, somewhere listed in their SlideShare. And if I click on go, I can see here that these are people that have their resume on SlideShare. And obviously, there's 112 people. So that's basically it. That's my 13 steps to be an effective sourcer, to uncover people within a pipeline or people within the internet to create a pipeline. I will go ahead and send this out as well as the form I had created on a Word document, as well as the recording to everybody. Before I go, I'm going to open up the lines for any kind of questions. If you are an attendee, you can also request or ask questions on the chat room. And if you're a panelist, then you can definitely ask questions on the line as well. So does anybody have any questions?
We can hear you now, Deb.
Okay, good. Phew.
We lost you for a second.
Okay, good, good, good. That's good that it was only a second. I didn't want to go ahead and re-record this entire training.
Yeah. Well, we've been waiting for you for 20 minutes, so you might just have to go back 20 minutes.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, if I have to re-record, I will re-record. Based
Lovely.
on what anybody did see, is there any other questions? Do you remember what step I was lost at?
Between uh, Facebook and LinkedIn, I think.
Okay, so we got pretty far into, if we were already talking about Facebook, that's step 11.
Yeah, I think probably Facebook to user groups,
Okay,
and it was
okay,
for about 60 seconds.
gotcha. Okay. So after the user groups, did I show everybody, did everybody see how I was able to X-ray SlideShare?
Yes.
Okay, great. And then, so with the searching user groups, I showed everybody how to X-ray or a LinkedIn organization. Did everybody see that? So something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so it sounds like I wasn't lost completely, which is good. So that being said, does anybody have any questions? Okay, I know I went through this rather quickly. If anybody has a position and they feel they're at a loss and they just don't know where else to go to uncover additional talent, by all means, reach out to me, same time, email, Skype. I will be more than happy to get on a call with you or with your teams as well and show you some additional ways to source for talent on the internet. So if nobody has any additional questions, I will conclude this call. But before I do that, we will be having another training in one more month. Brad Wills is going to be presenting Standing Out in a Crowd job specs. So definitely join our next training. I thank you for your attention to my training today, and that concludes the Stump the Sourcer training for the Par Excel Senior Clinical Consultant position. Thank you.
Thanks, Deb.